Hello and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top Five. It is the week of October 24th, 2019. I am Christina Rees.
And I'm Christopher Blay.
I am in Houston, and are you in Fort Worth today?
I am in Fort Worth in my house that's being packed up to move to Houston.
Which is why we see a wall behind you and not a lot of packing boxes, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 5 on our list this week is the Austin Film Festival. It kicks off today on the 24th. Jennifer and Neil and I from Glasstire will be there this weekend. We're actually sponsoring one of the screenings. The one that would probably appeal most to our readership is called Making Apes, the artists who changed film. It's a special effects team responsible for creating the makeup effects for the classic Planet of the Apes, not the new one, the classic one. The Austin Film Festival launched in 1994. It has a special sort of focus on screenwriters. And it's a lot of mainstream films, some indie films, some documentaries. And Neil and I are there over the weekend. We're going to be interviewing some of the directors and the screenwriters, and we will bring that to you next week on Glasstire in the form of podcasts.
Number 4 is Keith Carter, 50 Years. It's at the Dishman Art Museum at Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. Keith Carter is a well-known photographer. In 2009, he was selected by Art League Houston as their Artist of the Year. But beyond that, he has had literally 50 years in the industry, and his photographs are very sort of dreamlike. They have a look of sepia tone, black and white photographs, and his Firefly series of photographs is highlighted in this exhibition. So
number 3 on our list this week it's pretty much a twofer. It's at the Southwest School of Art, the galleries in San Antonio. Chad Dawkins brought the show here. The headliner is Mario Ybarra Jr. from Los Angeles, and the show is called Like a Cow Visiting a Butcher Shop. It's a recreation of an installation that he did for Arco Madrid in 2013, the big international art fair, and it is a critique of art fairs. It's a critique of the way artists' work is treated as just pure product at an art fair. It's kind of this big immersive installation. He's wallpapered the walls of the entire gallery. He's set up a butcher shop. There's a kind of butcher shop / stage musical set sort of feel to it. So it's very biting, but it's also very funny. It's got this kind of dark, grotesque humor to it.
I can get into that.
Yeah, it's nice. I got to see it last week, and then the accompanying show, which is nice, which is in the other gallery, is Ybarra Jr. brought in 5 Latinx artists, Latina artists in particular, these are women that he's been following. Some of them are from Texas, some of them are from beyond Texas, and he's put their work on display and as a kind of complement to what he has done in the big room. So both of these shows opened just last weekend, the same weekend that Ruby City opened. Southwest School of Art just keeps doing these great shows.
Number 2 is Riding the Tiger, the art of Bert Long Jr. It's going to be at the Houston Museum of African American Culture, or HMAC. The show looks really interesting. This is sort of my introduction to Bert Long's work.
This is what's so exciting about having you move to Houston, is you're going to be introduced to all of these legendary artists' works. Bert Long Jr. he's a really an important figure in the Houston art scene. He died in 2013. His estate is represented by Deborah Colton Gallery, so this is sort of in partnership with her. But this is basically a big retrospective. His work is ubiquitous throughout Houston. His presence is still felt very much in Houston. And in fact, when Pete Gershon was putting together Collision, the big book that was released last year about the Houston art scene, it was Bert Long Jr. who had been such a great, basically a pack rat of all of the ephemera of the Houston art history, contemporary art history, that's really what kind of kicked off the research and the archive for that particular book. But he's important. It's always good to be able to get to see his work. This is going to be a nice show, and it opens this weekend.
Number 1 is Beatriz González at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston. This looks like a really big show. The artist is in her 80s, and she's been doing this for a while. Multidisciplinary artist, A lot of painting, sculpture, found objects, painting on curtains. So it looks like a very rich collection.
This is the first large-scale U.S. exhibition. She's from Colombia. She's well known. She's one of the few living representatives of the radical women generation from Latin America. So this launches at MFAH this weekend. Brandon, I know, is going to the press preview, and we are all looking forward to this show.